Lose.
Past 2 weeks, or 1 week, I guess.
Holy shit, Kevin!
Wow! What?
You get this only nowhere else but the Kevin is after that. Kevin, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we're not gonna a carved penguin. There it is. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Bird Fish!
How about that?
Bird Fish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. O's win 5-3 in New York versus Max Fried. Everyone said it wasn't happening. O's go get it done. How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? The Baltimore Orioles go into New York. First the lefty Max Fried and get the win. Aaron Judge homers. They're down 3-2. You're asking yourself, okay, Yankees have opportunity, but the Orioles keep it together. They get through the game, and Felix Bautista slams the door, baby. Orioles are 9 games under 500. Team's 9 games under 500. I'm just saying. People, we were talking. It was going to be a tall task, but it was possible, and the Orioles are getting it done. May 24th, less than a month ago, where I believe it was 17, 18 games below 500, 9 games. And Scott blew it. Round of applause. Absolutely incredible. 2 innings pitched. I was not sure why we brought Scott Blewett in, or in a high leverage situation at the time. But man, I'll take it. Scott Blewett, absolutely incredible. And if you're new to the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Go live after every single Orioles game, win or lose. And John, can't forget about Kobe Mayo. The Kobe Mayo game, 2 for 3 versus Max Fried. Double, single, and an RBI to tie the game. I'm just saying. Kobe Mayo is starting to get comfortable. Kobe Mayo is starting to get comfortable. And I think this is going to be very fun as he continues to get more and more comfortable. Let's go over the box score real fast. See how this game all went down. Whoop, there we go. So, we got Jackson Holiday leading the game off. 3 hits for the 21-year-old. I mean, 2 hits off Fried. Jackson Holiday, 3 hits on the day. Also scored a run in the first inning. Found out he was playing what? 20 minutes before the game? 20 minutes tops before the game. He finds out he's playing, not only playing leading off versus Max Fried. What does he do? He goes out there, gets a 3-hit game. Jordan Westbrook 0 for 5, but that play in the field made up for all of it. Incredible flash of leather there. Ramon Laureano 0 for 4, but does score the run. And also, I mean, why? I don't care if he was safe or out on the replay. That was, I mean, I probably would have called him safe. But why are you in the year 2025 running on Ramon Laureano? Why are you doing it? It makes no sense to run on Ramon Laureano right now. It feels like, is he averaging 1 outfield assist a game over the past week? Because it feels like it. It feels like it. Ramon Urias, 1 for 5. I mean, if you're going to get 1 hit, might as well make it count. It's a little short porch action. I've always said I love the short porch. Never said an ill word about the short porch except for every time the Yankees use it. Ramon Urias, take the lead. I mean, that felt good. I'm not going to lie. When he got that off the bat, I was like, please find a way out. Please find a way out. Just over Judge. And man, did that feel good. Man, did that feel good. Colton Cowser, 1 for 3, also gets hit by a pitch. Gary Sanchez, the revenge game. Revenge game in the Bronx for Gary. 2 for 3. He gets the 2 RBI single in the first. So a little hustle play from Gary out there, beating out the infield single. Gary Sanchez putting together some decent at-bats with the over the past few days since being back. And then Kobe Mayo, I talked about him before, 2 for 3 with the RBI. Absolute. The difference between Kobe Mayo now versus Kobe Mayo early in this season and last season is astronomical. He looks so much more comfortable. He was finally given the full reins to, hey, you're going to play. You don't have to worry about getting sent down. You don't have to worry about any of that. Go play baseball. Go beat Kobe Mayo and let the rest play out as it will. Absolutely incredible what's happening with him, getting comfortable. 2 for 3, both off Fried. Ryan O'Hearn pinch hits for him. Works out 1 hit, 1 for 1. Dylan Carlson 0 for 4. Luis Vasquez. When Luis Vasquez batted, I think it was in the bottom of the or top of the 6th with runners on 2nd and 3rd. That was I mean, they won the game. They won the game, but I did not. That was one of the few that I really disagreed with Tony on. I would have loved to see Gunnar or somebody in that position. When it's a tie game, you have 2nd and 3rd against kind of backpedaling Fried. Would have loved to have seen someone get a pinch hit there. But doesn't matter. Gunnar Henderson in the 8th coming through with a little insurance. Also takes his hit streak to 14. I was kind of upset. I'm not going to lie. When they brought Gunnar in the 8th, obviously I wanted Gunnar at the plate. Like, I'm not saying that. But I was like, damn, if this is the way he ends his hit streak, that would suck. That would suck. But Gunnar says, don't worry about it. 1 for 1 gets the job done. And the RBI for a little bit of insurance. So, awesome to see there. And before we move on to the pitching, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Kevin and Zachary Ack will go live after every single Orioles game, win or lose. Let's get into some super chats. Walter, really appreciate you saying, what a job by the bullpen going 5 1/3 scoreless innings after Sagano didn't get out of the 4th. The Orioles have now beaten 30 straight lefty stars, including beating the Beast of Free tonight. It's been a wild road trip. It really has been, and I couldn't agree more. This bullpen deserves all the praise in the world right now. all the praise in the world right now. We, after the 8-0 blown game, people were, it's so funny. For the bullpen, it's such a what have you done for me lately part of the sport. Because if they go, they were on, I think they'd given up like 4 or 5 runs total all of June. Then they come in and have a massive just blow up against the Rays, blow an 8-0 lead. And suddenly people are like, the bullpen sucks. The bullpen doesn't suck. This bullpen has been nails this season. Absolute nails this season. And it was a massive reason that they got the win tonight. And then, Kyle, appreciate you. Orioles put a punt lineup makes me want to put the house on them. They will just produce. Yeah, screw the analytics. There were a few times I know Adley was not available, so he can't pinch run for Gary Sanchez. But when Gary was on the bases, I was like, holy crap, please get somebody faster out there. So, yeah, every time the Orioles put a punt lineup out there, it feels like this team is getting a win. Punt lineups are the best lineup. It's true. Orioles find a way. Now let's go over the pitching. Tomoyuki Sagano. I'm going to have to go over here so that you can see Felix. Tomoyuki Sagano pitching 3 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. It's just, it sucks because for Tomo, I was expecting, especially with the 2-0 lead in the first inning, that he was going to come out throwing strikes, that he was going to, come out pounding the zone, go out there and try to really just get some quick outs, let them hit, play more freely. Didn't happen. It felt like he just didn't really have his full command tonight, falling behind in pretty much every count. If it wasn't a walk, it felt like it was a 3-2 hit, 3-1 hit, 2-1. So just falling behind way too often. The pitch count skyrocketed early on, and there was really no recovering from that. Keegan Aiken comes in, allows the 1 hit, 2 walks. Great. I mean, Keegan Aiken came in when they needed him, got out of it. Yennier Cano. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty again for Yennier. It really wasn't. 1 inning, 2 hits, got the strikeout. He got the job done, don't get me wrong. Got the job done, wasn't pretty again, not really something that makes me feel great after his recent struggles that he's really turning around. But hey, a 0's a 0 in the scorebook. You get it how you get it. So, get the confidence of he put a 0 up. Doesn't matter how you got there. Put a 0 up and move on. Scott blew it. Two innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. I mean, Scott, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say when Scott Blewett got put in that I was necessarily as understanding. I was like, okay, he's our long relief guy. Why is he necessarily closing out a 2-run game, pitching high leverage? But hey, credit to Scott. He went out there, did the job, 6 up, 6 down, absolutely phenomenal. And then you hand it off to Felix Bautista. There are a few matchups. I know I talked about Felix versus Trout. That was incredible. Felix versus Aaron Judge, stressful as all get out. Stressful, don't get me wrong. It is stressful as all get out. But holy crap, what a matchup. Felix, triple digits, blows it by him. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Aaron Judge. And then strikes out Jazz Chisholm to slam the door on the game. Just all around, great night from the bullpen. Felix Bautista slowly, I don't even want to say slowly anymore because it's been a gradual increase, but at the end of the day, he's back, and it feels like recently it's been rapidly. He's looking more and more like himself. It feels like, once again, when Felix, I don't want to knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood. So, superstitious people, including, I'm knocking on wood. It feels like, once again, when Felix goes out there, you feel good. You feel confident. Early in the season, you're like, okay, what Felix are we going to get? Is this going to be something where he's, maybe doesn't have it, he's got no control, he's walking people, he's giving up hits left and right. Early on in the season, it was a struggle for him. But he settled it down a significant amount. He's getting triple digits again, and Felix Bautista looks like Felix Bautista. Let's say it like it is. Felix Bautista looks like Felix Bautista again, and it is a very welcome sign for the Orioles because, hey, Yannier Cano not really producing like you'd hope he would. Sir Anthony and Baker have kind of been your go-to guys as of late. And if Bautista can continue to be back to his, 90% back to what his old form was, if you can get a game where you get the lead going in the seventh, you hand it off to Baker, you hand it off to Dominguez, and then they hand it off to Felix, you're feeling pretty good about winning that ball game. And that's where I feel like the Orioles really missed Felix last year. Was it just felt like it was always who are we going to pitch in the seventh? Okay, well, we don't want to pitch this guy in the eighth because we might want to match up with guys in the ninth. So let's have him pitch in the ninth, but who are we going to pitch in the eighth now? Who's getting the ball with the lead in the ninth. You get to the ball in the ninth, it's going to Felix Bautista. You can figure out the eighth all of a sudden. So far this year, Brian Baker stepped up. Okay, now we're starting to get rolls. Yannier Cano, when he's at his best, he's in that eighth inning, seventh inning conversation. So now all of a sudden, once Felix was put into this lineup, he's plugged in, he's back to pitching like Felix Bautista. It really allows the rest of the bullpen to kind of fall into form because now you're not trying to match up in the ninth. So you don't have to mentally think, okay, well, I want to bring Sir Anthony in now, but what if I need him in the ninth? So it's one of those. And Pocket Watch, I got to appreciate you. And then more recently, appreciate you again. Over 170 people in the chat. If you're here, it's free. Hit that like button. It really helps us out. Go live after every single Orioles game. Win or lose, Kevin Oestreicher will be joining us shortly as well. Guys, I genuinely cannot express how big of a win this was. Max Fried on the mound. Let's call a spade a spade. Lefties have owned the Orioles. So for Max Fried in New York on the mound against the Orioles, it felt like, the Orioles need to win 2 of 3 of this series to go 4-3 on the road trip. It felt like a lot of pressure of, okay, if you lose this game, you have to win the next 2. You lose this game, you have to win the next 2. Max Fried on the bump, there's a lot of pressure. You go up 2-0, but you can't capitalize all the way. You had more opportunities, can't get it done, but 2-0 lead against Max Fried in the first, you're feeling great. Tomo gives up 2 runs, it's 2-2. All of a sudden, third inning, now it's 3-2. Max Fried is locked in. It is very easy at that point. Ooh, shook that up a little bit. It is very easy at that point to roll over. And we've seen this team multiple times throughout the start of the year. That is, I'll say it again, I feel like I've said it a lot after some of these wins recently. That's a game that earlier this season that team loses probably 6-7-2. Not right now. Not this team right now. They're fighting. They find a way. They scratch and claw. Colton Cowser, what a freaking read on that Kobe Mayo blooper. I mean, once it was Landon, Buck Britton, all he knows how to do is send. It's all the guy knows how to do. So he's got the arm waving full speed the entire time. Tie the game up, then it's a new ball game. But you still had Max Fried going. You still had all of a sudden it was not this, it's a done deal. The Orioles have this momentum. You still had to get through some guys. And for them to continuously fight back, the Yankees had opportunities. They did not fold. They did not, immediately, throw in the towel. It wasn't one of those things they challenged guys. They got out, and the hitters were not afraid. It's the biggest thing. The hitters went up there and they challenged. They weren't just rolling over everything. They weren't just, swinging first pitch just to get it over with. Working the count. Multiple 2-2s, 3-2s. Even if they were getting out, it was 4 or 5 pitches deep. And what's that lead to? I know it's Max Fried went 6 innings, 3 runs. If you would have told me the Orioles scored 3 runs off Max Fried tonight and only went 6 innings, I'd be like, damn, you're crazy. Like this team, like for them to be able to, it's only the second time that he's had 3 earned runs on the season, 3 or more earned runs. The other was the Dodgers. So this is a big win. This was a massive performance. And I know the Yankees are struggling. I know they're just free falling right now. But once again, you have to win the games in front of you. I don't care that the Yankees are struggling. Good. That's why you had to win these, because it is a winnable game. Once it was 3-3, the Orioles had to win it. Once it stayed close, the Orioles had to win. This is a massive series. If the Orioles can take 2 of 3, I'm not going to say the S word. We're not talking brooms yet. We can talk brooms if they get the dub tomorrow. We're not talking brooms yet. We're going to talk series win. Orioles win this series 4-3 on the road trip. You win one of the next 2. You go 4-3 on the road trip. And I know people in the chat before the road trip, we talked about where are your feelings, or where is your good versus you're okay with, your goal for this road trip. I know a lot of people said 5-2, a lot 4-3. I said 4-3. Kevin said 5-2. If you get out here 4-3, it's a win. You gained a game while playing against, on the road, the hottest team in baseball in the Tampa Bay Rays and the team in first place in the AL East in the New York Yankees. Both on the road, that is not an easy thing to do. And the most impressive thing, I talked about it last night, it's the fact that the Orioles lost 7-1 to start this whole road trip out, came back, won game 2 5-1, blow an 8-0 lead to lose game 3. And my God, I can't state enough how much that would have crippled this team 3 months ago. They would have gone on a 4-game lose streak, 5-game lose streak. Come back out next day, win it, split the series. Go take that momentum into New York. They got into the hotel at 4 a.m. last night. Or they were at baggage claim at the airport at 4 a.m. last night. Yankees playing a day game yesterday, in bed, snuggled up by 4 p.m. Orioles get in 5 a.m. this morning, roll up, and get the win. I mean, that's what you want to see from this ball club. That's the response you want to see from this ball club. Pocket watch. Let's keep it. We appreciate the support. Over 100 and only. Hey, let's keep it going. And while we keep it going, let me bring on my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Oestreicher. Kevin, what a win! What a win!
Aren't Yankee win days the best days?
They're the best, Kevin.
Aren't they the best days?
Kevin, they truly are. They truly are. 5-3 in the Bronx versus Max Fried. I mean, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, you hold your own against Max Fried, and I've said this before. This pitching staff's identity is they're going to give up a lot of base runners, but they managed to limit the damage, and you saw that in the first inning. Tom was out of control. Got this team walking guys left and right, and they limit the damage, and you keep them in the game, and with your offense being relatively healthy, and I mean the superstar bench they had tonight with O'Hearn and Gunnar coming in, and you had everybody on that bench, and I mean you give credit to guys like Jackson, who wasn't even in the lineup, and then he produces and he gets in there against Fried and starts the game off on a high note. So I mean, look, I said that I wasn't expecting them to play well against Freed, and while they didn't light the world on fire, they did a lot better than I thought they would. And look, people say, "Oh, well, Freed's no schoolboy." Freed's one of the best pitchers in the league. Like, don't
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. I don't want this like, oh well, it wasn't against schoolboy or Skeens or no. Freed is a top flight ace lefty, mind you. So I give this team a lot of credit. I said on the show last night, I would love to be proven wrong, and there was a shot that they'd be able to perform. And again, like, I'm not saying that they tagged them for like 8 runs in 3 innings or anything, but you still were able to limit his effectiveness. And 7 hits, 3 runs, that kept you in the game until the Yankees bullpen blew it. And speaking of blew it, shout out. But that's all you can ask for against the star pitcher like that. And you just keep grinding away. You get your chances, and guys delivered in the clutch tonight, and that was it was really big. I mean, Ramon works the count 3-2, and he gets a pitch he likes and takes advantage of the short porch out there and right. Like, it's situational stuff. And Kobe continuing to produce, and Westy flashing the leather. Like, although the Westy pitch clock thing was weird. That was a whole other story. But
I'm so glad that did not come into play.
I know, but like Laureano with and you're right. I saw you say it, Zach. New York has never gotten a call wrong, right? They've been
beautiful.
Perfect. They've been perfect all year. They've been perfect. And then, again, they lost by 2, so it didn't end up mattering at the end of the day. But like, still, like, everybody contributed in some way, shape, or form. I call this a very solid all around win for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Kevin, we talk about this all the time. What makes there's just something more special about winning in New York. We've talked about this team kind of not fearing the Yankees.
Yeah, they play them well.
Like, Max Fried on the mound, they don't care. They could not care less.
That's what we've been saying, is they play their division really well. Like, they play the East really, really well.
They do. And, Kevin, we always talk about, like, the games that just mean a little more. We coming off of the first loss 5-1 to Tampa, 7-1 to Tampa. Then they come back, win 5-1. You blow an 8-0 game. Then all of a sudden you come back and you win the next game. And then all of a sudden everyone's talking about, well, you're probably going to need to win 2 of 3. Well, you need to win 2 of 3 to go 4-3 on the road trip. Probably going to need the first game to, that's going to be a loss. And everyone was penciling in the Yankees win. Like, it was when you went through every prediction, like, Orioles were plus 184 to win today. Like, it was everyone and their mother had said Yankees are going to win. But guess what, Kevin? Start spreading the news, Kevin. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Come on, man. I love it.
I missed it. I missed it.
It hits different, man. It hits different. It hits different.
And you know what? It hits different when the Orioles are surging 9 games below 500, Kevin. Less than a month ago, they were 18.
Yeah. They got to keep it going, right? Go win a series tomorrow. Go sweep them if you can get the game tomorrow. Again, you're right. Like, this was the game everybody was worried about, right? This was the one. And now you have 2 righties on the mound. Although, I'm not – with their recent performances, and again, I know that it was Anderson and Kikuchi, but, now with Fried checked off here, I'm not as worried about it's still a thing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying they're like, oh, they're the best team in baseball against lefties, because they're not. But, like, just go out there and – play who you play, beat who you beat.
Yeah.
Go get a win against all these guys. And, 2 very hittable pitchers in these next 2 games. We know the Yankees bullpen they have guys that are vulnerable. The offense can cook in this series. And like we have talked about them playing New York well, playing the division well, you feel confident that they can at least win one of these next 2 games. But like we have said, again, I would have loved 5-2, and it's still on the table, definitely. But even if they just split the remaining 2 here, you go 4-3 on the trip, and I know that was your threshold. So you'll take that, especially against 2 teams that are in the thick of the playoff race right now, and those are the teams that these are the teams you're going to have to play. And yeah, I mean, this was a big win for him.
It was a massive win. Kevin, this is one of those wins that I genuinely feel, especially if you can propel it into a win tomorrow, you can really start building some momentum. And hell, Kevin, I said I'm not going to say the S word. We're not talking brooms. But you win tomorrow, we can have that conversation. We can, because this Yankees team is reeling, and that's why you need these wins. Hit them while they're down. Kick them while they're down.
Yeah, don't give them the momentum back. Yeah.
Yeah. Orioles 3-1 versus the Yankees this year. Hell, would an S word feel good to make it 5-1?
You just don't like saying. Everybody I talked to over the last 24 hours does not like to say people's names. Sam Njoku on my show yesterday wouldn't say Josh Allen's name. I'm just like, hey, I'll say it, man. What
was he saying for Josh Allen?
We were talking about I thought it was hilarious. We were talking about the MVP, and he was like, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not even going to say the other guy's name. I'm just like, dang, Sam, tell me how you really feel. I loved it. It was hilarious.
I love it.
And I'm like, hey, man, if you're not going to say it, I will. Like Josh Allen, he's into the, and then now you don't want to say sweep. I'll say sweep. I don't care. I'll say it. I'll tell you. Actually, I have a quick story. I'm not in my normal area setup. I'm away right now, and we went to a Wilmington Blue Rocks game, and Alyssa got me this hat. What their mascot is? Their mascot is celery.
That's
one
sick.
of them is celery. So whenever the Blue Rocks score, this celery mascot comes out and high fives the crowd. It's just like a dude in a celery.
I love that.
Celery. So I have now taken on Mr. Celery as a persona. So that's my new thing. I have been cleansed by I've been given a new lease on life by Mr. Celery.
That's incredible. And Kevin, before we get into some call-ins, we got Pocket Watch keeping people over 190.
Thank you, Pocket Watch.
Appreciate you. What a win. Everyone's here to celebrate. This is one of those fun wins where it does just feel like if you can keep it going, Kevin, this team, we talked about how in the world could they possibly get back to 500 by the trade deadline a month ago? We were talking about it. Chipping away. It was
and
what?
You do have, just looking, I'm going to pull up their schedule real quick. You think with the amount of times I've pulled it up, I would know it by heart. But you have back-to-back Rangers series. In between those, you have Rays. But you have Rangers, Rays, Rangers. I would hope you could win both those Rangers series, and then unless one of them 4 games. It's one of those series 4 games.
For what, the Rangers?
For the Rangers.
I don't believe so.
No, they're both 3. Okay, cool. Yeah. So hopefully you can win both of those series, and then the Rays, even if you can win both Rangers series, and then you can either win the Rays series, or if you just lose 2-1 to the Rays, that puts you in a decent spot there.
Very.
You go what? 5-4 on that in that scenario, worst case, and 6-3 best case. Like you said, just continuing to chip away. They could even sweep the Rangers in one of those series because they're very beatable. They have guys, but
yeah. And hell, Kevin, if you obviously we're here to talk about kind of overreact and stuff at times, but we sit here. Orioles are just 5.5 games out of that wild card.
It's so tight right now. There are so many teams.
It's so many teams, but nobody wants to beat anybody else. And it is just leaving the door open. Everyone's just taking 2 of 3 against each other and just flip-flopping. So It's still very doable. Just keep
just play. Focus on tomorrow, man. You got a winnable game tomorrow. You can send the Yankees even further into a tailspin. Like,
Tampa is only a game and a half behind the Yankees
yeah,
now.
take care of tomorrow. And look, if somehow the Orioles make that wild card push and they get in there as the wild card team or one of them, bring me the Yankees, man. I don't want to say that right now, but like I'm just saying.
I'll
Like,
say it.
so that's something you'll say, okay?
Yeah, that's something I will 1,000% say.
I feel confident. I'd rather it be the Yankees
Because I'm not saying they're going to beat the Yankees, but yeah, I want to see them. We said it last year, Kevin. This team was backpedaling. I want to see the Yankees. This team doesn't.
They would have made the ALCS if they saw the Yankees.
Yeah, I 1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
I 1,000,000% believe in these guys. Yeah. So
it's crazy. I mean, I would rather see the Yankees right now. I'm just off my game with pulling up these schedule standings and everything. I'd rather see the Yankees than the Rays because I think the Rays are that stingy team. I'm not going to count the Tigers and Astros in this conversation because I think they're going to win their divisions. So I'm just going to throw them out of this for now. I'd rather see the Yankees than the Guardians because I mean, the Guardians are weird right now, but like, I don't want to be in a series with Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan. I don't want to do it. So I feel like the Guardians are a team I don't want to see as opposed to the Yankees. I feel like they could beat the Mariners.
yeah, they could. We just swept them.
Yeah, the Twins are a weird team.
Twins,
I do not want to see the Royals personally. I
No,
know.
if we see the Royals again, I told you I'm not watching.
Yeah,
I already told you, Kevin, I'm not watching if we see the Royals again.
I hope it doesn't. I mean, but look, we're talking about September, October. We're in June right now. They got a long way to go. So I just look, if you can make a if you can win this series, at least you make a statement here. And you said it last night, and I think it's a really important fact. You take all the pressure off yourself with this win. Right now, the Yankees are the ones on their back foot where they are already reeling. They are pressing at the plate. And it seems like even the pitching staff, like they're trying to be heroes because they know that they need to get back on track. This Orioles team, they're playing a lot more free. And when you don't have that pressure on you, like, I mean, we saw the 2023 team. They had no pressure. They were just having fun. It was literally just a vibes year for them. Like, they were able to maximize their potential that season. But we saw in 2024 in the first half of this season, or, we're still technically in the first half, but like the first couple of months, there was a lot of pressure. And when you start losing games and when you start reeling like that, all you want to do is press. All you want to do is be the guy to help your team get out of that slump. And that's what the Yankees are going through right now, where like a guy will make a good play and then they'll just ruin the momentum. Like, they rounded into double plays and, they made a bad pitch and like that would just completely screw up their momentum. So you now don't have the pressure on yourselves where you mentioned it last night. If they had lost this game, now you have pressure, man. Well, we have to win both these games to take the series, but now you can play free. And I'm not saying relax or like let up on anything. Keep pushing the pedal down, keep going, but you can play free while doing that instead of having that like thought in your mind of, man, is this going to happen again? Are we going to get some momentum and then lose it again? Like now you can continue to go on that track, which is really good. And I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and it's all about one game at a time. It's, winning the games that you can and then building off of it. And I truly think that if this team can continue to do that, they're going to find themselves in the right spot. I'm not saying they're going to, you win 2 of 3, you're going to find yourself, you're going to win the, whole. Just keep winning games and you're going to find yourself in the hunt, and that's all you can. All that matters. And pocket watch.
Pocket watch.
Yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. It's free.
Do it for Mr. Celery. Do it for
Mr. Celery.
Maybe I'll do a celery. I have bought just like huge packets of celery sticks and just eaten them as snacks before. I
feel like that's not too
It's not too out of the ordinary, but like
I was gonna say definitely. But Kevin, you want to get into some call-ins? We'll get some quick call-ins going.
Yeah, let's do it. And I'll answer Sam's question here while you do that. Are the Orioles in this position of how does the manager? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think. that was what they needed.
Yeah, they needed a jolt. And again, while I'll stand on it. I don't believe it was all Hyde's fault. There were other factors. Obviously, the offseason they had, Elias, players being down and being in slumps, but they needed to make that change. And I think that the stuff that we've seen from Mancelino with the more consistent lineups, although again, it's like clockwork, man. Everybody's just complaining about the lineup tonight. Man, what is this against Fried? Come on, man. Punt lineups. I think the Orioles might be undefeated when they put a punt lineup out there and everybody.
If they put a punt lineup out there, they win.
I'm not even trying to exaggerate. Every time they do it, it feels like they win because you see the comments, they flood the lineup. Oh, come on. Why are they punting? And then all of a sudden they do something like this. And then the best part about tonight, at least, was like I mentioned at the top when I got on, like you have guys like Gunnar on the bench that can come in a big spot and get you a hit. So yeah, man, it was. But no, I don't think the Orioles are in this position at all because I think we just saw that. Give up is a very harsh accusation. I don't want to say that because I don't think it's even true. But like you could tell that they were so down on themselves, and every game just felt the same, and they were going through the motions. And while again, I've said it probably 10 billion times at this point, I don't think that they hated Hyde. I don't think that they were all get this guy out of here, like da da da. But I think that the messaging probably grew pretty stale, and they're like, yeah. Like you're saying this, but look
it's
not
that it was Hyde's moves. It's not that it was. I mean, Hyde historically, it was like his pinch hitters were batting over 300. I mean, I don't think it's anything that Hyde maybe even does differently. I think it's just they needed a new voice. They needed something. They needed some sort of difference to just look at and be like it's a fresh slate. We're not just doing the same thing over and over. And sometimes that's all it takes. Like genuinely, as stupid as it sounds, sometimes that's all it takes. And then you can find yourself, slowly making your way down. So,
yeah, it works.
Awesome. Let's get into our first column. We got our guy Gordon. Gordon, what's up?
Gordon, what's going on, man?
What's going on, my guys? How you guys feeling after a Yankees win? Not just a regular win, but a Yankees win.
And you gotta feel good, man. You gotta. It just hits different, man. It truly does hit different.
Man, can we just talk about how resilient this team is for a second? This team, I think that should be the word for this team. Like, this team is so resilient. It's not even funny. Like, the amount of adversity that we face with the injuries, just the downplaying of just regular baseball on how, the lack of, production in the very beginning of the season to, clawing their way out and actually fighting and pulling their way out of this is phenomenal. And it's just like so great to watch. Like, I remember earlier in the season with the streams we would have, we'd be like, man, I wish we could talk about the Orioles in a different light. And it's finally here. Like this feels amazing. Like if the Orioles, we're 9 behind, right? 9 games under 500.
Yep.
If we were 9 games under 500 a month ago, would we feel like this team could get out of it?
Yeah.
Not whatsoever. Not whatsoever. But right now, I feel like, man, we're going to chip away at this. And I really do believe in my heart we're going to at least get to 500. It might not be at the exactly at the trade deadline, but, I feel like we're going to – we are turning this season around, and it's just phenomenal. Like, I really want to give Kobe Mayo an apology. That guy – I just formally want to come on here and say I apologize for the, Kobe Mayo slander that I, might have felt to myself or might have said earlier in the season. But that guy, he's a baller.
Yeah,
He's awesome, and I think that when you look at this team right now, it's just continuing to chip away. And I think the mindset that, I try to have is, look, they're not going to win every single game. Like it feels great. And we've seen them, like the blow up against the Rays and all that. Like there will be losses. They're going to continue to lose games here and there, but you just have to continue to chip away, go on a couple of runs or continue to win series, because now you put yourself in a spot, this wouldn't be a conversation if they were still 16 or 17 games under, but now that you're 9, you now can afford to win series, right? Where before you had to go on those like 6-game win streaks or 7-game win streaks to really get back to where you are right now, which they did. But now you can just continue to chip away, and especially with the fact that, like you said, Zach, there's no team that wants to take the wild card right now. There are a lot of teams bunched up, and so the Orioles are just continuing to climb and climb and climb, and we're still early enough in the season here. I mean, we're before the All-Star break, before the trade deadline. You have a lot of room to operate.
Exactly, and it's funny because even the wild card, like this, it has been one of the weakest, in my opinion, AL East in a while. Like when it comes to like wins, like there are good teams in our division, but I just find it so funny that the year that the Orioles actually struggle is in the year where everybody in the AL East are just fighting up to grabs. I mean, obviously the Yankees are the Yankees, but if the Orioles had a different beginning of the season, we would be fighting for that number one seed right now. I fully believe. But it's like this team, man. It's like I really enjoy watching Orioles baseball now. It was miserable in the beginning, and it just seems like
Oh, that's an understatement.
it's like Mancelino. What he is preaching to not even what he's preaching to these guys. It's more so in the sense of I feel once Hyde got fired, it wasn't the fact that Mancelino came in and just implemented something. He just got back to the basics of playing baseball and not overthinking things and just playing baseball. But the fact that these guys who grew up and came up with Brandon Hyde essentially made him lose his job. Granted, there's other things in front of that. I mean, other things that go involved with that, like the lack of off-season moves and so much. But those guys take that to heart, and I'm pretty sure that it kind of pissed them off that they feel like they got their manager fired because the lack of play and how everything turned around. And I feel like that can light a fire under these guys, and it did. And like this team, man, we have a lot to work on, but I feel like we're in a really good position. And but if we for us to be buyers at the deadline, where do you see the Orioles have to be? Do we have to be exactly at 500 or over 500 or a couple games or even 2 or 3 games out of the wild card? Like, where do you see this team actually being buyers at the deadline? Or do you feel like because I know we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but this team is kind of changed trajectory of the season, hopefully. But where do you guys stand on that now?
I think you got to be within 2 games of 500, 3 games of 500. I think if you're within 4 games of the wild card, I think they take a buyer's approach. I don't know if they necessarily go for the moon, but I think that's going to be the sweet spot of if they are within 4 games of the wild card, I do genuinely think that they give themselves an opportunity to go make some noise. I don't think they go and get the frontline guy. I don't think they blow up the farm. I don't think they're sending Sam Basayo for a rental by any means this season. But I think you could see them be more in the, okay, let's go grab a veteran starting pitcher that can slide in to the top 2. Let's go grab whatever, maybe a bullpen arm if they see need fit. But besides that, I think, if they're within a few games of the wild card and that, okay, 2, 3, 4 games, I think they're going to be very heavily invested in the market to see if they can make a run at this.
Yeah. Look, I'm excited whatever it holds. I just hope by the end of September or beginning of September, we have competitive games where it's like, man, the Orioles might go to the playoffs if we win this series. And I just hope that by the end of the season, it's not like, oh, the Orioles fate is still, we already dug ourselves a hole. What's the point of even trying where, we have to win 14 games in a row to at least make it. I just hope that we're playing competitive baseball. And that just seems like what we've been doing. We are a competent baseball team. Earlier in the season, having 8-0, and then that game was just a mess. But going 8-0 to 12-8 was crazy.
Yeah.
And then we would have folded that very next game, but we locked down, got the win, and then literally came to the Bronx a day later and then beat a good Yankees team. Man, this team is right where it needs to be. And I mean, obviously we need to improve, but we're making headway. And I'm excited. I'm so excited to see what this team holds because
Yeah, I mean, this is the big. They're making moves. They have opportunities, and they've put, like you said, I think they're having opportunities to where if they keep playing like this, all we asked for a few weeks ago, a month ago, was that they play competitive baseball at the end of the season, where we have reasons to tune in, reasons to get excited to watch the Orioles, and not just to sit there and be like, "Damn, this season's over in July." By the middle of August, there's pretty much no chance they can make a run, and at the pace they're going right now, at the climb they're making, it's a possibility. And I think that's what's special about what's happening is even if they don't make it, even if they fall short, they are hopefully going to give us a reason to still tune in on September 20th, on October 1st, whenever the final game is. So it's that kind of stuff that I feel like, even if they don't make it, I love that they're keeping it competitive. So, that's the biggest thing for me is just, like we've said, it's keep it competitive. And at the end of the day, give us something to turn on at the end of September.
literally, Baltimore sports in a whole, they love drama. They love doing this to us, like somehow breaking our hearts and then somehow coming back through it and, persevering is Baltimore sports. That I don't know why we do that, but we continuously do that. So, it's just in our culture. But you guys have a great night, and hopefully we'll be talking tomorrow after a 2-0 win against the Yankees.
Hopefully a
So,
series win tomorrow with the
yes,
chance to
yes,
sweep.
win. Hey, look, can the Orioles just play at 7 o'clock from now on? Because that just seems like the time that we just start balling. It's
Yeah,
like
they
7 o'clock.
they played there for a while now. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go get the win tomorrow. Gord,
appreciate you, Gordon.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you,
Y'all
Gordon.
be safe. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Catch
appreciate
you.
you, man. I was just kidding. They played 11, dude. I'm not gonna be up for the post game on Sunday.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're gonna be struggling.
I'm gonna be sleeping.
And Pocket Watch has been
Dude, I love this. The like tracking, man. I love this. Pocket Watch.
Pocket Watch appreciates you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dead sleeping during that game.
Oh, I love it. Let's head into our next caller. We got
135. Okay.
we got B Ravens.
B Ravens, what's going on, man?
Hey, great win. Only concern tonight was Zagano, but otherwise, bats looked good. Arias definitely needed that home run. He felt like it was a bit of a drought with him, and he cleared the short porch. So,
all it takes is get something, And look, I mean, I've what I kind of said earlier in the show is, look, these guys, the trend has been they're going to give up base runners at times. They're going to have an inning, first and second, bases loaded. But, that inning in the first could have spiraled a lot worse than it did for Tomo. And the fact that, only 2 were pushed across, bases loaded, no outs, you feel lucky that it went there. So really the identity, and again, earlier in the year, they would give up like 7 runs in an inning. Like, I'm not saying it's been the thing the whole year, but recently it feels like, at least for the starters, it'll be the final stat line will be like 4 to 6 innings, 7 to 9 hits, couple of walks in there, but only like 2 to 4 runs in that. And if you can limit the damage like that, the bullpen, with the way it's been playing, there was no 12-8 game that happened. I don't know what you're talking about, but the way the bullpen's been playing, you take that with the way the offense has also performed. So it goes all the way into a really solid win tonight and just a couple of really solid wins they've had recently, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, to split the series with Tampa and now you're getting one here, feels like you're getting if they win one of their next 2, they're going to be 500 in this road stretch of 7, where they have to go 7 straight on the road, and to get at least 500, and that would be impressive.
Yeah, and it's just they don't have to press; they can take it one game at a time. Like, that's the big thing, and it's like, yes, they have a long way to go, but this team easily could have just said, "Man, we're 16 games under. Our manager just got fired.
Oh, they could.
Our third base coach is now the manager. Man, let's just look forward to next season. Let's retool and get it ready. But these guys, they have so much fight in them. And again, that's the word we've been using since Mancelino took over the job. Is they just look like they've been fighting, they've been resilient. They could have easily said, "Man, like this is just look at how back we are. Look at we're so early in the season. We're playing this poorly consistently." No, they said, "Hey, we're going to turn this thing around. We're going to try our best to get in here, grind it out, work hard." It's not easy to do what they're doing right now, and we've seen them like gain some momentum back, and then they lose it, and they lose 4 or 5 or something. But now you have a prime opportunity against division and AL opponents, nonetheless, to make up some of that ground. And look, they've done it from 16 back, 18 back, and it's 9 now. Like I wasn't sure we were going to see them under single digits this year, considering the way they were playing. So the fact that they're here is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, exactly. And then Bautista, the birthday boy, going 100 on the day where he pitched back to back, striking out Judge on it.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was some 2023 vintage Felix right there, man. I
Triple
love
digits.
I know. It's funny. Everybody thought at the beginning of the year when Bautista wasn't 100% back yet, everybody thought Mason Miller was just going to run away with AL Closer of the Year again. But Bautista is starting to get back up there, and you could challenge him by the end of the year.
I mean, anything's possible. It definitely. I mean, Felix looks like prime Felix again. That's what matters. I mean, and I was talking about before. It helps everyone fall into place when you know that you're handing the ball to Felix in the 9th. Then you don't have to worry about it. You can start game planning and matching up in the 8th and the 7th and getting your best guys out there. And it allows other guys to have roles because, Kevin, we've talked about this. Last season, how many times down the stretch were we like, looks like we have a new closer. Yeah. It was just a rotating door. And it's so hard to win consistently like that, and especially in big games. So having that closer, that guy that you can hand the ball to in the 9th and is going to get you 3 outs for a win, no matter who's up there, it's a massive factor, and it really does help.
Yeah. I mean, how many closers did we use last year? I can think of 4 right off the top of my head.
Too many.
Kimbrel, Cano, Coulomb, Dominguez.
Yeah, I mean, it was everyone
right there.
Roto back there at times. It was anyone.
Yeah, and now it feels good to have Bus Bautista able to do it and have him go back to back. Something that Kimbrel never did last year, because if you think of back to back, he's at least giving up a hit, if not 2.
Yeah, I mean, and having the mountain back is just such a massive win for the Orioles. For him to continue, we talked about, we're like, if he can get back to 75%, that's a win. It looks like he's back to that 85, 90, 95% of what he was. I think there's still that last tick that he might not and probably won't hit until next year, just because of that's the nature of the injury. But he is way further ahead than I even thought he would be at this point. For him to get back to triple digits with the movement and control he has, having Felix Bautista in the 9th, it feels like you said, it feels like 2023, and it feels damn good. So I think I can only hope that we can see Felix closing out more games throughout the season. But B Ravens, appreciate you calling in.
Before I go, shout out to Set It Man, Scott Blewett today.
Yeah,
man, awesome.
It confused me for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say that I understood at the moment why we were bringing Scott Blewett. I was like, is he not our long reliever cleanup guy? And I was like, we're okay. Here we go. But Scott Blewett, he did it.
I love it.
Scott Blewett didn't blow it.
Didn't blow it. Scott Blewett didn't blow it. I mean, hey, a win's a win. Doesn't matter how you get there, even if you have to have your long reliever come and pitch the 7th and 8th of a 2-run game in Yankee Stadium. B Ravens, hopefully we're talking tomorrow after a series win. You take care of yourself.
Right.
Appreciate you, B Ravens.
See you later.
Appreciate you. Gosh, vibes are just so much better after a win.
I love it. We try our best after losses, but wins are they're just naturally so much more fun. Just naturally. I love the win vibes.
It's so much, especially the way we started this season out to where we are now. It's been incredible. It really has. And Pocket Watch, everybody has followed, right? And Kevin, you heard her.
I know. I will take that. Thank you, Molly. I will do
Yes,
that.
thank you, Molly. Thank you. And
She was the one that bought me this hat. So, Mr. Celery, I was introduced by Alyssa to Mr. Celery. So,
you know, what a win, what a day all around. You got the Mr. Celery hat. Orioles are fine. I mean, what a better day. Couldn't have a better day. Kevin, anything else?
no, just go win tomorrow at it's an early game, but go win and go win a series. Go
set yourself up for a sweep.
All I want to hear is the song again. I want to hear the song again. We can only play it once a stream.
Yeah.
I want to hear it again tomorrow.
We're going to do it. So that's going to do it for us here at Kevin and Zach React. Playing at 1 p.m. tomorrow. It is a early day game for the Orioles. So we'll be back here earlier in the day, and then they have an 11:35 game after that. So we'll be back here tomorrow for another edition of Kevin and Zach React right after the game. Orioles and former future of the New York Yankee, Gary Sanchez.
I'll go Orioles legend / Tigers legend / Angels legend, Jahmai Jones.